So we're just going to cover three topics today. Website updates, donor updates, and recruitment updates. And then if anyone has any questions or comments, we'll take them then. So Rich, do you want me to stop sharing and you can talk about the website updates?
I can try here. Yeah, well, I just wanted to go over just briefly what some of the updates were.
Okay.
Overall, we just try to make the layout a little more consistent just because it was, a lot of different formats and we kind of generally made it look a little more refined, I guess, and fit within the bounds of a narrow window. The homepage got updated. We gradually went through some of the descriptions too, or gone through some of them and just tried to make the verbiage a little bit more clear. It probably needs more work. So if there's anybody out there that wants to run through this and provide some suggestions, they'll be very much appreciated. And we could integrate some changes. And if they have any ideas on what else we might want to add, I know one of the things that we don't have is a lot of video. And if people want to do testimonials, we talked about that, mentioned that previous meeting, that would be helpful. We'll integrate that somehow, especially for the founding team. Under the about, you'll see we added the business plan page, and it's preliminary. So it has a lot of stuff there, and there's a little bit of repetition in that page versus the regular page. But it has just really, it's kind of a little bit of everything in there. And Alan added a real nice business flow diagram, which is
down at the bottom.
Yeah, at the bottom of the page.
There
you go.
We're somewhere back in those first left columns. Yeah, back in there, or that's where we are. We got a lot of work in front of us.
Yeah. Now, one question I had was if you point to the project plan or any of these items, are we going to add some more content there, Allison? If you point to like a project plan or something, I get a pop-up on my screen. Yeah, like that right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Alan, if you were thinking of adding,
I wasn't
to link.
Yeah, I didn't have any links there. I wasn't going to make that necessarily interactive.
Okay.
If you go up, Allison, I was going to make all these boxes hot and go to have them navigate the pages. I'll probably put buttons in them.
Okay.
And then there'll be detailed definitions. And if you go on up a little bit farther to the initiatives, the same thing right there. I'll probably put buttons in and then have those directed to actual detailed pages on each of these. I'm still writing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot here. It's looking pretty good, I think. It's a little more consistent, more work to come. And the other big change that Alan just added last night was in the donate page, where he added a little.
You want to zoom down just a touch, Allison, and just walk through the presentation here. And basically, we're trying to engage people here to say, do you really care about the damage happening to the planet? If so, yes. And then are you interested from a personal or business perspective or both? Go ahead and hit personal. And these are the personal top 10 concerns. And if you hover on the eyeballs on like number 1, there'll be a pop-up a tooltip basically that talks about these things. You go to each one if you want. And these are all the reasons, basically, the concerns about what's going on with the planet and things people are looking for. Now, this can use. I'll take input from anybody. If you guys got comments on it, you want to change anything, it'd be great.
Great job. I love it. I love it. Beautiful.
Cool. And now go to look at business. That'll take you to the business piece. And this basically talks about triple bottom line, being a green leader. These are the things that I think the business guys, SEC is now looking at measuring companies on their impact, on their climate impact. So be a good company. And then the risks. And then the whole circular supply chain approach, we got to get out of the linear thing. Go on, scroll down just a little and go to why I want to learn more. And this starts going into the hot plant repair team. You've seen all this. This is our mission statement. You can also hit the right arrow there if you want, or why I want to learn more. Either one works. How do we clean up the trash planet? The problem. We're a global planet repair solutions organization, and we integrate nonprofit actions with for-profit investment partners and operating companies. Solutions we're working on is the connectory, the playbooks. And then the hot planet repair team. How do we hyperscale repairing the planet? We build a league. So if you highlight on the plus signs, start with step 1. Everybody needs to get committed to this. And this needs some language work, but this is what I threw together last night. Any level of commitment. And then also what focus, what are people's interests? What do they want to focus on? And, we basically will funnel people's interest into probably 6 to 10, 12 different areas. Go ahead and scroll down to and hit see initiatives. And this basically is just going into these areas here. We scroll down just a touch. You can actually see the business plan. It'll open up a new tab and go right to the business plan. And there you go. Go back to donate tab. And then you can go to the projects, which is just basically a screen grab of that. And here's where, this is the big sell. This is the closer. Would you like global recognition for helping solve major problems like waste, carbon capture, water remediation, red tides, hydrogen, energy storage? Donating and sponsor will highlight your commitment and name. The Jane and John Doe Global Project Center or Demonstration Center or whatever. And then contact information. I've got that email address just coming to me right now, but we can make it a group email pretty easily. I didn't want to go too crazy because we're getting ready to move emails this weekend.
Oh, very nice. Beautiful job. Absolutely wonderful.
Now I can give everybody a link to this so that's just a standalone presentation. And it's also here on the donate page.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to mention too was on the under about our FAQ page. That got reformatted to be an expand contract format. And that's another place where if people have questions that need to be answered or can be added, we can add tons of stuff here. So, and this would be a good place maybe to throw some video in on the answers too, because it helps people get a little more, make it more personal maybe. If anyone wants to expound on any of these questions or add something in here, this is a good place, I think. So that's probably about it, really.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Rich.
Well done. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Alan.
Tyler and John, did you guys want to do this one?
Sure. I've been doing a lot of recruiting and talking with people on coming on board. We just brought on a new donor recruiter and philanthropic rep. She has 15 years experience in putting on the Naples Winter Wine Festival and knows a lot of the philanthropic families in Southwest Florida. So that's been really exciting. On the untrashing side as well, a little off topic exactly, but working in discussions with Collier County for a global demonstration center. We have a meeting with them tomorrow, and that's exciting. And we have other meetings with other government groups in New York, Puerto Rico, and also throughout Asia, and also in Australia. So there's a lot of things going on in the untrashing side of things. at like really industrial levels. So that's exciting. And I think that awareness is going to start helping bring more and more people under the HPRT tent. And we want to bring the world. So let's get at it. So, and also on Facebook, we have a new Facebook page. It's not a group page. It's in addition to that, it was actually a page for HPRT. It's also a great way to get followers into our content. And I found that I think I brought on about 60 or 70 just this week to like and follow HPRT on the Facebook page. So we can all have our own efforts in inviting our personal networks into the tent that way as well. And the social we're going to have next Thursday. I'd like to just have a Zoom link for everybody to just come on board and share your stories. We can all get better connected, better acquainted, find out what your solutions are, what you're passionate about, and why you joined HPRT. And I'd like us all to put our own little recordings together as well on why we joined HPRT and share it with us, so we can have further content of our diverse members from around the world sharing why they're involved and what they're doing to help.
And that's an open meeting. We can invite everybody we would know, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's try to break Zoom.
Yeah, we'll try and break Zoom. We'll do our best.
What time is that? What time is that on Eastern time?
11 a.m. Eastern time next week.
On the 17th, right?
Yeah.
That's before noon. I don't think I'll have my scotch in front of me.
No, it's strictly mimosas and Bellinis. Is that a morning drink as well? I think that's a peach champagne.
Well, it's St. Patty's Day, so isn't there always an exception on St. Patty's Day?
Yeah.
With the green dye in it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, happy hours all day on March 17th.
That's right.
Exactly.
Who do you want some help on managing the meetings and stuff like that, and building some breakout rooms or anything?
Yeah, I have no idea how to build the breakout rooms.
Okay, I can help you on that.
Okay.
Anybody? What else we got there, Allison? Anything?
That's it.
Okay, let's open it up. Any questions for anybody?
I have a question or two. First of all, I have a joke to everybody. It says, how does NASA throw a party? Does anybody know the answer? How does NASA throw a party? They plan it.
They plan it.
They plan it.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah. Hey,
Made my day.
Hey, Nancy, you're on as Anaya today on your screen.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's Taekwondo. My fault. Anaya, she's got a red belt, black stripe. So almost a black stripe, 10 years old.
Oh, that's awesome. Look out.
Innovation.
You got your own bodyguard now.
I got two. My 8-year-old is almost there as well. So yeah, double. So
Cool.
A couple questions I have about this. You were talking earlier about getting onto podcasts to spread the awareness. My question, I guess, is you were speaking about $400 per podcast. Is that what I'm offering to people? Do I say, if you let us on your podcast, we'll give you this amount, or how do I approach these podcasters?
We typically don't pay for podcasting because people want our content.
Okay.
When we get into commercial projects and stuff, we might end up putting a budget towards what I would call promoted podcasts. But this is a charitable mission we're on.
Yeah, absolutely.
If somebody wants to charge for a podcast, they should donate it and we can give them a tax write-off.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Another question I had was looking at article help, such as social media content creators, etc. Same thing with that. I would just approach them by saying, hey, you want to help out the planet? Come join us, and send them the link to join. Is that what I would do?
We probably want to focus it towards content, focus it towards the content team.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, you can always point them to the webpage, obviously, and there's contact us links there too.
Of course. Okay. So I think that was about it for me, guys.
Okay, cool.
I like the presentation that you did with Genially, Alan. Is that shareable, that we can post that Genially on social media directly?
Yeah, I've actually made it as a public. Let me pull a link for you, and I'll put it in the meeting comments.
Yeah, and I can throw it into Facebook, both groups actually, if you want.
Yeah, please do, Rich, in both the Facebook groups.
Yeah, give me 1 second here and I'll have links for you. And you guys need to tell me if these links work. Let's see, where's my chat window? There it is. There you go. Try that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, looks good.
I want to share it on LinkedIn also.
Great. Spread the word. Also, we were talking about a group that plants a lot of trees. I spoke to somebody, and that may be part of the leagues, because there's another group that wants to plant 30 million trees this year. And then a group that wants to plant mangroves in large scale globally. And then another group is planning on planting large outdoor crops of hemp. All of them seem to be nature-based solutions, and it'd be interesting to see how those could kind of fall into their own teams in different leagues of planet repair from a atmospheric remediation standpoint. And I guess mangroves do a lot more than that, because they create a lot of restoration of natural environments. So that's pretty cool. I reached out to Mangear, and for every article of clothing that they sell, and they've got beautiful artwork, I'd love to have a co-branded Mangear / Hot Planet Repair Team apparel, because for every article of clothing that's sold, they plant mangroves, some team gear, and their artwork is pretty astounding on their stuff. So it's just been a work in progress on my engagement with them, but I've signed on and communicating with some of the people there right now.
Okay, anything else, guys?
Does anybody have anything to share with me? Say concrete companies versus companies that work with more sustainable products, materials. Are you trying to hunt all them down? Everybody, right? From concrete to sustainable building companies, everybody. One more question I had was versus solar power versus wind power or hydrogen power, water. All of those companies we want to include as well, right? Not one over the other is more important. They're all important to us. Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you.
We have actually been talking about our positioning in regards to petroleum also. And I think at the next meeting, we'll probably put a positioning statement out to everybody, because it's going to be an evolution, not a revolution. We actually, I don't know if we have to respect, but no, I don't think we have to respect what I call the fringes. I think the far petroleum side and the far green side, they don't deserve respect because they're so hardcore. They're so, I would almost say both of them are fairly fascist in their views. We need central common sense type planning and evolution to solve this, and not revolution. And I mean, we have to change 150 years of behavior or more. Basically, from 1760, when the industrial age started, we have to undo all that industrialization, that linear extraction approach. And I have to tell you, it's been great because we exposed all these materials, and now they're basically available, and they've already been pre-processed once. We just got to put them into the circular economy and literally take the trash and reuse it, take the CO2 in the atmosphere and reuse it. And that's the new era of abundance I see happening. That's going to be the winner in 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we have to make changes to avoid revolution because, time's running out and, we're all seeing it here. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where we put our timelines. And I'd like to see more milestones for the group, or just in general, maybe somewhere, to make sure we're on track to where we think we want to be. And I know there's been a little bit of talk of carbon offsets. We can look at that further. I think what's important with carbon offsets is that if someone wants to offset their kiloton of carbon emissions with an offset, the offset should have a built-in carbon negative. So they have to buy, let's say, 2 kilotons of sequestration, that kind of thing, or 1.5, something. So it makes it carbon negative. Yeah.
See, I would even go further because, right now they're saying a ton of carbon is a ton of carbon and it doesn't matter where you offset it. Whereas I would argue if you're polluting in an area that is already over affected by climate change, and then you buy a carbon offset in an area that is less affected, is it equal? And I would say it's not.
Right.
Yeah, good point, Allison.
So it's not just the amount, it's the quality or yeah, of a
Well,
offset.
and I think it has to be looked at also from a social impact.
So,
Yeah.
any items anybody wants to bring forward to the next meeting or discuss next week? We can put on, or 2 weeks from now for the agenda.
I don't, I'm sorry, but does anybody have an idea what I could do here in Calgary?
Stay warm.
Well, good luck. If you look out my window, I got snow everywhere. But no, I know because of what's happening in Ukraine, pray for everybody. But I know that they're really looking at getting rid of the oil, well, gas in Calgary, Alberta, well, Canada, I guess, really. What
Except
can I
Jason
do?
Kenney.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't even go there. But yeah, so I just wonder, what can I do to bring, like, Calgary, not Calgary, but Canada, I guess, is really going to be looking for other options than oil and gas. But I just wonder what I could bring to them to speed this up, because they are looking for stuff to speed up this process to get away from the oil and gas. And I just think, I know I have something, but I just don't know how to bring it here. So I guess more social reach, more get loud, right, Tyler? Get
Yep.
louder.
That's it. Just get louder. The solutions are here. It's easier to introduce the solutions through a nonprofit at first, and then allow them to know that there are a basket of solutions for them to consider. And then within their involvement within HPRT, I think we can cross-pollinate opportunities to find solutions for people. It might be easier to get in through the nonprofit than to say, like, for a for-profit organization that's involved, to go directly to them and say, hey, we're here to solve all your problems, and this is how much it's going to cost. It might be easier to get them in through the nonprofit first, and then stage them into the solutions that are in our quiver.
Okay. And another thing was about T4L, I guess. I just wonder if possibly we could speed up the process of getting some more electric vehicles to Calgary. We need all the help we can get in Calgary. So I'm like, come on, guys, let's get this going. So yeah, I really want to get loud about this and try to help, because we are looking for solutions in Canada, and they're ready to jump for the first time ever. They're actually, like, you know, so I would love to get
Nancy, let's take this offline, and we'll introduce you to, we'll give you a presentation on the Carburetor stuff.
Sounds good. For the Hot Planet Repair team for the Northern Canada, I just wonder, have you reached out, or anybody from the northern communities at all? There's a lot of help needed up there for climate. So I just wonder, anybody with the northern communities?
I have spoken to an oil and gas company actually in the north, and they wanted to transition, and they've reached out to me on the Carburetor front. It wasn't one of the majors, so they didn't really necessarily have the bandwidth to take on replacing hydrocarbons with biocarbons. But perhaps there are some waste streams to take advantage of, especially landfills and municipal solid waste and things like that, because that's readily available carbon that we can convert to fuels and materials and things of that nature. So that ultimately is a phenomenal solution for Canada, but way high up, I think there's an issue with oxygen. It's just being so cold. I don't know. Yeah, high density bio facilities in the Arctic Circle will be as effective, but a little further south. But in that kind of mid-range of Canada south. But as far as zero fill and getting rid of all of the municipal wastes and things of that nature, that's not limited anywhere. So we can turn that waste into valuable materials and fuel to power what they need to do to survive up there. However they do it, I have no idea. I came from the north like 18 years ago to live in Florida, and I've completely shed all of my ability to maintain warmth in anything lower than 70 degrees.
Oh, you lucky guy. I'm jealous.
Nancy, are you talking about like the indigenous communities and so on? Not in the Arctic region, but in the sort of northern parts of most provinces?
That's right. I lived up in Whitehorse, Yukon. So I have some connections up there and a few people working on sustainability projects up there from
Yeah, the
buildings.
Yukon's pretty good about that. They actually do have, the Yukon government's pretty open to those types of things.
That's right.
Yeah, I certainly in Northern Ontario, you know, the issue obviously is access.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of the infrastructure really in place for some of these solutions. But certainly in terms of sustainability projects, like all summer, they have lots of sun. So in terms of solar projects, those would work, but obviously it would have to be offset in the winter because in the winter they don't have sun. So there's certainly those types of opportunities. I know there's a lot of projects to do with hothouses to grow vegetables and fruit in the winter, because obviously they also have an access with regards to food. Those are the types of projects I'm aware of. And then they also have issues with their housing. Their housing is not terribly suitable to the environment they're in.
Yeah. In the Yukon, I'm hearing a lot of like the freeze, thaw, freeze, a whole bunch of that.
There actually are a new set of standards for building in the far north that takes into account the melting permafrost and sort of not making it worse and affecting it. But their existing infrastructure is having a lot of issues because they're being far more affected by global warming than other areas. It's like 3 to 4 times. So the existing infrastructure is having issues because obviously it's being shifted when the permafrost melts.
Exactly. So I just wonder, you know, there's probably a lot of options up there I could look into as well. So I just wondered if you guys may have already contacted some in the northern units. Yeah. So thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you, Nancy. That's great.
Yeah, hey, listen, I had one quick comment, if I could chime in. I had a one-on-one with Jake yesterday just to make a little bit of a introduction, get a little bit deeper into, you know, what he's doing, what everybody's doing here. We talked about influencers, and Tyler, I think you and I exchanged a couple of messages on LinkedIn about Bill Weir. He has really sounded the alarm in a very sobering way. Does he fit the profile as a influencer for what we're doing?
Yeah, he'd fit the profile for sure. I mean, he's come to the front lines. What network was he with?
He was with ABC, but I think it's CNN now.
Yeah, he's got a great following, and if we could get his attention, this would be a great avenue for him to get involved. And the conversations that I've had with a lot of people, that they may not be influencers from a sustainability or environmental standpoint, but they're influencers in other capacities with wealthy individuals or other philanthropic people or science groups, and they love HPRT. The response has been extremely strong, and so I think that's just kind of building that critical mass right now, actually. And so if there's any way you can reach out to get his attention, I think I followed him, and it may be good to just kind of jump on his thread and throw. I think we have a HPRT Twitter account. Is that correct? So we can jump on influencers threads with our links.
Yep. And Tyler, I think the other thing I told you too is that he has a Facebook page. It's not a profile where you can, hey, I want to connect with Bill Weir. It's more of a page where you can, like it, follow it, try to send him a message. So, it obviously takes a village to track down someone like that.
Yeah. And maybe we can just all tackle him, flash mob him, and get his attention.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I don't know if anybody's seen his documentaries, but it's shocking and it's sobering.
Yeah. He'd be a great candidate for influencer with us, and I highly recommend us reaching out in any way to get his attention and others that of his ilk.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you.
Cool. Anything else, guys?
I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
That is awesome. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, everybody. All right.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.